Ezekiel 22 to 24. Moreover, the word of Yahweh came to me, saying, And you, son of man, will you judge? Will you judge the bloody city? Then cause her to know all her abominations. You shall say, This is what Adonai Yahweh says, a city that sheds blood within herself, that her time may come, and that make idols against herself to defile her. You have become guilty in your blood that you have shed, and are defiled in your idols which you have made. You have caused your days to draw near, and you have come to your years. Therefore I have made you a reproach to the nations, and a mocking to all the countries. Those who are near and those who are far from you will mock you, you infamous one, full of tumult. Behold, the princes of Israel, every one according to his power, have been in you to shed blood. In you they have made light father and mother. Among you they have oppressed the foreigner. In you they have wronged the fatherless and the widow. You have despised my holy things, and have profaned my Shabbats. Slanderous men have been in you to shed blood. In you they have eaten on the mountains. They have committed lewdness among you. In you they have uncovered their father's nakedness. In you have they humbled her who was unclean in her impurity. One has committed abomination with his neighbor's wife. Another has lewdly defiled his daughter-in-law. Another in you has humbled his sister, his father's daughter. In you have they taken bribes to shed blood. You have taken interest and increase, and you have greedily gained of your neighbors by oppression, and you have forgotten me, says Adonai Yahweh. Behold, therefore, I have struck my hand at your dishonest gain which you have made, and at your blood which has been given within you. Can your heart endure, or can your hands be strong in the days that I will deal with you? I, Yahweh, have spoken it, and I will do it. I will scatter you among the nations, and disperse you through the countries, and I will consume your filthiness out of you. You have profaned in yourself in the sight of the nations, then you'll know that I am Yahweh. The word of Yahweh came to me, saying, Son of man, the house of Israel has become dross to me. All of them are bronze, tin, iron, and lead in the middle of the furnace. They are the dross of silver. Therefore, this is what Adonai Yahweh says. Because you have all become dross, therefore, behold, I will gather you into the middle of Jerusalem, as they gather silver, bronze, iron, lead, and tin into the middle of the furnace, to blow the fire on it, to melt it. So I will gather you in my anger, in my wrath, and I will lay you there and melt you. Yes, I will gather you and blow on you with the fire of my wrath, and you will be melted in the middle of it, as silver is melted in the middle of the furnace. So you will be melted in the middle of it, and you will know that I, Yahweh, have poured out my wrath on you. The word of Yahweh came to me, saying, Son of man, tell her, you are a land that is not cleansed, nor rained on in the day of indignation. There is a conspiracy of our prophets within it, like a roaring lion ravening the prey. They have devoured souls. They have treasured the precious things. They have made many widows within it. Her Kohanim have done violence to my Torah, and have profaned my holy things. They have made no distinction between the holy and the common. Neither they have caused men to discern between the unclean and the clean, and have hidden their eyes from my Shabbats. So I am profaned among them. Her princes within it are like wolves ravening the prey, to shed blood and to destroy souls, that they may get dishonest gain, and her prophets have plastered for them in the whitewash, seeing false visions and divining lies to them, saying, This is what Adonai Yahweh says, when Yahweh has not spoken. The people of the land have used oppression and exercised robbery. Yes, they have troubled the poor and needy, and have oppressed the foreigner wrongfully. I sought for a man among them who would build up the wall and stand in the gap before me in the land, that I would not destroy it, but I found no one. Therefore I have poured out my indignation on them. I have consumed them with the fire of my wrath, and have brought their own ways on their heads, says Adonai Yahweh. The word of Yahweh came again to me, saying, Son of man, there were two women, the daughters of one mother, and they played the prostitute in Egypt. They played the prostitute in their youth. Their breasts were fondled there, and their youthful nipples were caressed there. Their names were Oholah, the elder, and Aholibah, her sister. They became mine. They bore sons and daughters. As for their names, Samaria is Oholah, and Jerusalem Oholibah. Oholah played the prostitute when she was mine. She doted on her lovers, on the Assyrians her neighbors, who were clothed with blue, governors, rulers, all of them desirable young men, horsemen, riding on horses. She gave herself as a prostitute to them. All of them, the choicest men of Assyria. She defiled herself with the idols of whoever she lusted after. She has not left her prostitution since leaving Egypt, for in her youth they lay with her. They caressed her youthful nipples, and they poured out their prostitution on her. Therefore I delivered her into the hand of her lovers, into the hand of the Assyrians, on whom she doted. These uncovered her nakedness. They took her sons and her daughters, and they killed her with the sword, and she became a byword among the women, for they executed judgments on her. Her sister Aholibah saw this, yet she was more corrupt in her lusting than she, and in her prostitution, which was more depraved than the prostitution of her sister. She lusted after Assyrians, governors, rulers, her neighbors, clothed with most gorgeously, horsemen riding on horses, all of them desirable young men. I saw that they were defiled. They both went the same way. She increased her prostitution, for she saw men portrayed on the wall, the images of the custom portrayed with red, dressing with belts on their waists, with flowing turbans on their heads, all of them looking like princes, after the likeness of the Babylonians of Casdim, the land of their birth. As soon as she saw them, she lusted after them, and sent messengers to them into Casdim. The Babylonians came to her into the bed of love, and they defiled her with their prostitution. She was polluted with them, and her soul was alienated from them. So she uncovered her prostitution and uncovered her nakedness. Then my soul was alienated from her, just like my soul was alienated from her sister. Yet she multiplied her prostitution, remembering the days of her youth in which she had played the prostitute in the land of Egypt. And she lusted after their lovers, whose flesh is as the flesh of donkeys, and whose issue is like the issue of horses. Thus you called to memory the lewdness of the youth, and the caressedness of your nipples by the Egyptians, by the breast of your youth. Therefore, Aholibah, this is what Adonai Yahweh says, Behold, I will raise up your lovers against you, from whom your soul is alienated, and I will bring them against you on every side. The Babylonian and the Casdim, Pekod, Sheo, Koah, and all the Syrians with them, all them desirable young men, governors, the rulers, princes of men of renown, all of them riding on horses, and they will come against you with weapons, chariots, wagons, and the companions of peoples. They will set themselves against you with the buckler, shield, helmet all around. I will commit the judgment to them, and they will judge you according to their judgments. I will set my jealousy against you, and they will deal with you in fury. They will take away your nose and your ears. Your remnant will fall by the sword. They will take your sons and your daughters, and the rest of you will be devoured by fire. They will also strip you of your clothes and take away your beautiful jewels. Thus I will make your lewdness to cease from you, and remove your prostitution from the land of Egypt, so that you will not lift up your eyes to them to remember Egypt any more. And this is what Adonai Yahweh says, Behold, I will deliver you into the hand of those whom you hate, into the hand of them of those whose soul is alienated. They will deal with you in hatred, and will take away all your labor, and will leave you naked and bare. The nakedness of your prostitution will be uncovered, both your lewdness and your prostitution. These things will be done to you because you have played the prostitute after the nations, and because you are polluted with their idols. You have walked in the way of your sister. Therefore I will give her cup into your hand. This is what Adonai Yahweh says. You will drink your sister's cup, which is deep and large. You will be ridiculed and held in derision. It contains much. You will be filled with drunkenness and sorrow, with the cup of astonishment and desolation, with the cup of your sister Samaria. You will even drink it and drain it out. You will gnaw the broken pieces of it and tear your breasts. And I have spoken it, says Adonai Yahweh. Therefore, this is what Adonai Yahweh says, because you have forgotten me and cast me behind your back, therefore you also will bear your lewdness and your prostitution. And Yahweh said to me, Son of man, will you judge Oholah and Oholibah? Then declare to them their disgusting deeds, for they have committed adultery, and blood is in their hands. They have committed adultery with their idols, and they have caused their sons, whom they bore to me, to pass through the fire, to them to be devoured. Moreover, this they have done to me. They have defiled my sanctuary in the same day, and have profaned my Shabbats. For when they have slain their children to their idols, then they have come to the same day into my sanctuary to profane it. And behold, they have done this in the midst of my house. Furthermore, you sent for men to come from afar, to whom a messenger was sent, and behold, they came, for whom you washed yourself, painted your eyes, decorated yourself with ornaments, and sat on a stately bed, with a table prepared before you, whereupon you set my incense and my oil. And a voice of peaceful multitude was with her, and Sebans were brought from the wilderness with the men of common sort, who put bracelets on their hands and beautiful crowns on their heads. Then I said of her who was old in adulteries, now they will play the prostitute with her, and she with them. For they went into her, and they go in to a prostitute. So they went into Abahala and Abahala, the lewd women. But righteous men will judge them with the judgment of adulteresses, and with the judgment of women who shed blood, because they are adulteresses, and blood is in their hands. This is what Adonai Yahweh says, I will bring up a mob against them, and will give them to be tossed back and forth and robbed. The assembly will stone them with stones, and dispatch them with their swords. They will kill their sons and their daughters, and burn up their houses with fire. Thus I will cause lewdness to cease out of the land, that all women may be taught not to be lewd like you. They will recompense their lewdness on you, and you will bear the sins of your idols. Then you will know that I am Adonai Yahweh. Again in the 9th year, in the 9th month, on the 10th day of the month, the word of Yahweh came to me, saying, Son of man, write the name of this day, this same day. The king of Babylon drew close to Jerusalem the same day. And utter a parable to the rebellious house. Tell them, this is what Adonai Yahweh says. Put the cauldron on the fire, put it on, and also pour water on it. Gather its pieces into it, even every good piece, the thigh and the shoulder. Fill it with the choicest bones. Take the choice of the flock, and also a pile of wood for the bones under the cauldron. Make it boil well, yes, let its bones be boiled within it. Therefore this is what Adonai Yahweh says, Woe to the bloody city, to the cauldron whose rust is in it, and whose rust has not gone out of it. Take out of its piece after piece, no lot is fallen on it, for her blood is in the middle of her. She set it upon the bare rock. She did not pour it on the ground, to cover it with the dust, that it may cause wrath to come up to take vengeance. I have set her blood on the bare rock, that it should not be covered. Therefore this is what Adonai Yahweh says, Woe to the bloody city! I also will make the pile great. Heap on wood, kindle the fire, boil the meat, make the broth thick, and let the bones be burned. Then set it empty on its coals, that it may be hot, and its bronze may burn, and that its filthiness may be molten in it. that its rust may be consumed. She is weary with toil, yet her great rust by fire, does not leave her. In your filthiness is lewdness, because I have cleansed you, and you are not cleansed. You will not be cleansed from your filthiness any more, until I have caused my wrath toward you to rest. I, Yahweh, have spoken it. It shall come to pass, and I will do it. I will not go back, and I will not spare, and I will not repent. According to your ways and according to your doings, they will judge you, says Adonai Yahweh. Also, this is the word of Yahweh came to me, saying, Son of man, behold, I will take away from you the desire of your eyes with a stroke. Yet you will not mourn, and you shall not weep, and your tears shall not run down. Sigh, but not aloud. Make no mournings for the dead. Bind your headdresses on you, and put on your sandals on your feet. Do not cover your lips, and do not eat mourner's bread. So I spoke to the people in the morning, and in the evening my wife died. So I did in the morning as I was commanded, and the people asked me, Will you not tell us what these things are to us, that you do so? Then I said to them, The word of Yahweh came to me, saying, Speak to the house of Israel. This is what Adonai Yahweh says. Behold, I will profane my sanctuary, the pride of your power, the desire of your eyes, that which your soul pities. And your sons and your daughters, whom you have left behind, will fall by the sword. You will do as I have done. You will not cover your lips or eat mourner's bread. Your turbans will be on your heads and your sandals on your feet. You will not mourn or weep, but you will pine away in your iniquity and moan one toward another. Thus Ezekiel will be a sign to you. According to all that he has done, you will do. When this comes, you will know that I am Adonai, Yahweh. And you, son of man, should it not be in the day that I take you from their strength, the joy of their glory, the desire of their eyes, and that whereupon they set their heart, their sons and their daughters, that in that day he who escapes will come to you, will cause you to hear it with your ears. In that day your mouth will be opened to him who has escaped, and you will speak, and be no more mute. So you'll be a sign to them. Then they will know that I am Yahweh.